Greetings from Srinivas. Welcome to G12 Homeschooling Day 8, Topic 8. Right vessels, right cookware for the children to cook. Generally, no doubt, we cook in the same vessels in the family for the children and elders. But the immunity levels of the children will be low compared to elders. By keeping in view of immunity of the children, it is better to use right vessels, right cookware for the children to cook breakfast, lunch and supper. Today we will discuss which cookware is best to boost up the immunity levels and to get 100% nutrition values. First and foremost thing is mud pots or clay pots. Even in the ancient days, our great grandfathers used to cook in the mud vessels, which retain 100% nutrition values. No doubt, cooking in the mud vessels, clay pots is not so easy as compared to aluminum vessels and steel vessels. But try to give first priority, first preference to cook in the mud vessels and clay vessels which retain 100% nutrition values when you cook curries, leafy vegetables and all. No doubt you feel difficult and time consuming. In our next video, I explain you how to use mud vessels, how to seasoning the clay vessels when you use for the first time. Mud vessels are given first rank. Next is brass, bronze. It is difficult to find out these type of brass and bronze vessels in the market, and it is costlier. And no doubt, if you don't find these brass and bronze vessels in the market, you try to get from your grandparents' houses if you find. It is the second option. Cooking in the brass and bronze vessels, you can retain 95% of the nutrition values. And third is iron vessels, iron pans. And we can retain 95% or 93% nutrition values if you cook in the cast iron vessels. But iron vessels, iron pans are weight and it will be difficult to maintain. Make sure if you use iron vessels and iron pans, you should not get rusting on the pans and vessels. Iron is also one of the good solution to retain the nutrition values. And iron vessels are not toxic in nature. And the next option is steel. Steel containers, steel vessels, steel is the one more best option to cook the food. We can retain 90% or 93% nutrition values if we cook in the steel vessels. But you should take precautions when you buy steel vessels. You don't buy the vessels with the copper bottom. You buy steel vessels or stainless steel vessels. If you get pure steel vessels, it is good. But if you don't get pure steel vessels, you can try for the stainless steel vessels. But you should check the nickel and chromium ratio when you purchase the stainless steel vessels. The ratio of nickel and chromium should be less when you buy the stainless steel vessels. All these four kind of vessels you can retain nutrition values above 90%. Now we go for aluminum vessels. These are the aluminum vessels which are abundant, which are more available in the market, cheap in the market, maintenance is easy, cleaning process of aluminum vessels is easy. Most of the parents, most of the elders using aluminum vessels, knowing or unknowingly, it is the worst metal for cooking. Before East India Company enters into India, before Britishers enters in India, there is no evidence that our ancient Indians used aluminum vessels. There is a story about the aluminum vessels. Britishers introduced aluminum vessels in the jails to spoil the health of the prisoners. This is that much dangerous. And the nutrition values from the aluminum vessels is only 13%. Note it down please, 13% only. And aluminum is toxic in nature. Aluminum will definitely spoil the health of the children. They get constipation problems, other health issues related to kidneys, liver and heart. So try to dispose of the aluminum vessels from your kitchen. Avoid cooking in aluminum vessels. Okay, there will be only 13% retention of the nutrition values. And regarding the copper vessels, you have to remember one thing very clearly. We can use copper vessels to store the water. We are not supposed to cook in the copper vessels as it will be reactive and toxic in nature. We can use copper glasses, copper bottles, copper pots to store the water. But don't use copper bottom steel vessels, copper vessels directly to cook the food. One more thing is, when you use copper vessels to store the water also, cleaning process is very, very important. Cleaning the copper bottle is different from cleaning the steel bottle. Steel bottle at the bottom, there might be particles because of the sedimentation process. You can clean very easily steel vessels, steel pots and steel bottles. But because of the copper, water is getting into structured water and cleaning of bacteria, virus, which spread over at the bottom of the copper vessel is difficult. Without cleaning correctly, we are not supposed to use copper utensils for the storage of the water also. And one more thing, 95% of the Indian mothers using pressure cookers and electric cookers to cook the food because it is saving time, easy process. But cooking the food in the pressure cooker is the most worst process, because the terms cooking is different from the term breaking, broken and softening. We feel food is cooked in the pressure cookers. No, the food is not really being cooked. It is only broken food, otherwise it is only softened. And whenever we cook in the mud pots, even rice and all curries, the food is really cooked. One more thing, if you have windows in the kitchen, you can open the window whenever you cook. You will get sufficient air and sunlight. One more doubt, should we close the vessel with the lid whenever we are cooking? If you are sure you are using organic vegetables, leafy vegetables, rice, you can close the lid. If you feel you are using the vegetables, leafy vegetables, pesticided, then it is better to open, don't close it with the lid, such that all the toxic chemicals will go out in the flame. And one more thing, pressure cookers also, most of the pressure cookers are made with aluminum, and these pressure cookers also retaining nutrition equal to 13% like aluminum. So it is better to avoid pressure cookers, electric cookers, aluminum vessels. One more thing, most of the mothers using Teflon coated vessels and pans. It is one more dangerous pan to spoil the health of the children. It is suggested to use mud pans or iron pans compared to these Teflon coated pans. And the PTEF will be more in this Teflon coated pans and vessels which damages health of the children mainly. So avoid Teflon coated and other non-stick vessels, non-stick pans, and ceramic pans, ceramic vessels also good to cook, but it is very difficult to find out the original ceramic vessels, as many ceramic vessels in the market are coated on the aluminum vessels. It is difficult to find out which is original, which is coated vessel. One more, granite coated vessels also available, but it is also difficult to find out which is original, which is a coated one. So let us conclude the points. It is better to use mud pots, clay pots to retain 100% nutrition values. Next rank is given bronze and brass. Third rank is given for iron and cast iron. Fourth point, steel vessels or stainless steel vessels. The worst part is aluminum vessels, pressure cookers and electric cookers. And one more thing, whenever you send carriages, water bottles for the children after the school reopens, you avoid plastic and fiber lunch boxes, plastic water bottles and all, because these nanoparticles of the plastic will enter into the body of the children and damages the health of the children. You try to send water in the steel water bottles and try to use steel lunch boxes. You may ask, why don't I send the water in the copper bottles? You can send water in the copper bottle, but it should be, make sure it should be cleaned on every day. And storing water in the steel water bottle is different. Storing the water in the copper bottle is different. Copper water bottle, the water gets structured. As the water is getting structured, because of that, virus and bacteria will be there at the bottom of the bottle. And in the steel water bottles, you will find particles because of the only sedimentation process. Water will not get structured in the steel bottle. Now you may get what is structured water, that I will explain in the day after tomorrow in the video number 10. Tomorrow I explain how to season the mud pots, how to season the clay pots if you use for first time. I request all the mothers to throw out the aluminum vessels from your kitchen, and changing the vessels, using the right vessels, one of the easiest way to improve your children's health. Most of the parents, most of the mothers using aluminum vessels for cooking, as it is easier. As it is lockdown period, and you will get leisure time, sufficient time, no hurry to prepare the breakfast and lunch, no schools. If you don't believe me, at least you try these 60 days or 50 days cooking in the mud pots. Definitely you will find improvement in the health of the children. Those children who are facing especially the problems like the constipation and all, you avoid aluminum vessels. These 50 days you try to cook in the mud pots, you will find improvement in the health of the children, because mud pots will retain 100% of the nutrients. Afterwards you can continue. No doubt for first 2-3 days you will feel difficult to use clay pots, mud pots. In my tomorrow's video, I explain you how to season the mud pots, how to clean the mud pots. Thank you. Day 8, topic 8, right cookware for the children to cook.